What's up, grown folks? Welcome to our channel, Just About Seniors, where we solve problems and answer questions that older folks have to improve their lives. We are dedicated to seniors of all types, such as baby boomers, retirees like me, those that are near retirement, because we know you have questions and you want to do a lot of research, but you don't want to sit on the computer for hours looking for the information. Today, we'll cover a huge problem that seniors live with every single day with their computers. I'll show you how to speed up your computer, get rid of those pesky pop-ups that we all hate, protect your privacy, and improve your security. So I know you're excited about today's topic, so let's get right to those right now. Hi, I'm Al from Just About Seniors, and we provide personal advice and coaching to solve problems and answer questions, and we do it just for seniors. Please look at the description below where you'll find more information about what we do, our company, and you can check out information about our Facebook page as well as find the link for our blog where you can get some great blog posts. Now, I'll break down the issues that I mentioned earlier by looking at four things. First, things that are slowing your computer down. Second, blocking pop-ups and junk mail. Third, we'll look at protecting your privacy and security. And last, we'll go through a hands-on and setting up the settings on your computer for increasing the speed of your computer. Now, before I get into all that detail, there's a few things other than what I'm going to tell you today that can slow your computer down. But we're not going to cover all of that because we just don't have the time. So I'm going to focus on the big four. So let's start with things that slow down your computer. You may want to watch the whole video in its entirety so that you can understand exactly what I'm going to say and understand exactly what the settings are. Then you can go back and watch the video again, fire up your laptop so you can make those changes individually. I also included timestamps so you can down it in the description. So if you click on those, you'll jump right to that portion of the video. There are four things that we need to look at that might be slowing down your computer. I'll cover each one and then we'll do a demo of the settings so you know exactly how to make those changes. First, there are multiple programs that are running at startup or running in the background and they slow your machine down. Some of these products are not used every day, but they load themselves into your boot up sequence without your permission. Now, when you bought the computer and it ran really fast, it booted up fast and everything worked great. After you loaded a few programs though, many of these programs loaded themselves into your startup sequence. And again, they didn't ask you to do that, they just did it. Now, you certainly may want mail, for example, loading up when you turn your computer on so you can get your notifications in real time. But you certainly don't want Photoshop preloading every time you turn the computer on because you may only use that program once a month or so. The second problem that slows down your computer is your antivirus program may not be up to date or may not be active. Many computers come with a free 1-year virus protection program. Now, since you didn't actually pay for it, it won't auto-renew, and that's the problem. Therefore, after the first year, you might actually not have a virus protection program running or active. And even if you let a non-destructive virus slip through, it can slow down your machine. Destructive viruses can do a lot worse by deleting your data, stealing your personal information, or just crashing your computer altogether. Now, I have a question for you. How many months did it take for your brand new shiny computer that ran really fast to actually slow down? So go to the comment section below and let us know how many months did it take your brand new machine to actually slow down. Now, the other thing you can let us know is whether your antivirus program is actually scanning your files every day. And if you don't know the answer to that, don't worry. We're going to walk through that later so you can find the answer to that question. Now, the third problem slowing your machine down is a little bit more complicated, so bear with me on the tech stuff. Your hard drive might be heavily fragmented. Let me explain what that means. Each time you create a file, it takes up bits or spaces on your hard drive. When you first create a file, it saves it, your computer saves it to a logical place on your hard drive together. And say you open that same file up years later and you add 5 pages to it. when you go to save that updated document, the bits or the spaces that was at the end of your original document may be taken up by an Excel spreadsheet. And therefore, it has to move that data to a different place on your hard drive. And that's what creates fragmentation. Now, you may say, whoa, wait, that's just way too much information. There's way too much tech talk. I'm not a computer person, so you lost me about halfway through that. So just hang in with me and I'll explain it and show you a demo of it. The only thing you really need to know is fragmentation is when your hard drive puts different information in different places on your hard drive, and then when it goes to read that information, it has to jump around the hard drive to get it, which slows down older hard drives. Now, new hard drives, SSDs, they don't have that problem because they are so lightning fast, and I mean really, really fast. Now, the fourth problem that slows down your machine is your internet browser settings. Most default settings allow ads and videos to play automatically when you open up a brand new web page, and you certainly don't want that. I don't want that. So I'll show you how to turn those off, but for now we're going to stop there because there's a lot of other things that can slow your machine down. But if I took the time to go through all of them, it would just take way too much time. So we're going to focus on these big four. So let's demo how these settings look, where you find them, and exactly how you can make those changes. And because that's what you really want to get to after I went through all that detail, and you may not be clear on exactly how to get to them. But before we do that, if you think this information was helpful, hit that like button down below just to let me know that you find the video content valuable to you and that you want us to do more videos like this. Also, don't forget to share this video with your family and friends because you know they have computers that are running slow and they may be frustrated as well. So feel free to share. So I know I said a few times that we'll go through that a little bit later. And guess what? Now's the time for a little bit later. Now's the time to do some hands-on fun so you can understand, what do I find all these settings to make these changes? Now, I would recommend that you watch this entire segment first without trying to, stop and make changes on your computer. And that way you can fully understand everything first. Then you can go back and watch the video again or use the timestamps and jump directly to that particular spot on the video. So let's jump over to my PC right now and I'll walk you through the demo on each of those. The first thing we're going to look for is the programs that are starting up when you boot up your computer. So we're going to use the Control-Alt-Delete key in order to get over to your Task Manager. You click on Task Manager. That brings up the Task Manager window, as you can see here. And you're going to go to the middle of the top menu section. There's a menu called Startup. You're going to click on that. And this shows you all of the programs that are running at startup that are enabled or disabled. As you can see from my computer, I had Dropbox starting up. I had Adobe stuff starting up. I had Photoshop starting up. I also had Microsoft OneDrive, Microsoft Teams, and Skype starting up. Those things were all slowing down my computer at startup. So my computer is very fast, so I wouldn't get to see too much of a slowdown in speed. But if you have an older computer, this may make the difference. So if that's the case and you have a lot of these programs that you don't use every day or every week, just click on them, or better yet, right click on the program that you want, and you can either disable or enable it at startup. And that's all you have to do. Once you disable each of the ones that you want, you're all set. And also, please do not disable the Windows Security notification icon, because that's the one that gives you the pop-ups for issues that might occur. And also, don't mess with any of the programs that might be needed for the work that you do every day, such as mail, for example. So once we have that, we're going to close this screen. And that takes care of programs that are starting up with your computer. The next one is the antivirus and computer security settings. The best way to get to those is on the bottom right corner of the taskbar. You'll see an up arrow. You want to click that. Those are the hidden icons. You'll see a shield. You want to click that. That's your Windows Security portal. It'll give you your Windows Security home page. And as you can see, there's several options here. The first one is virus and threat protection. If I click that, it'll basically tell you the last time that my computer and files were scanned for viruses. And as you can see, 8/26/1920 or 2020 is the last time that my computer was scanned. It took 40 seconds to scan 42,276 files. So it's very quick. If you want to manually scan your computer after you downloaded a file that might have been suspicious, you can just hit the quick scan button here and it'll rescan your computer very quickly. So that's basically the virus protection section. If you use the arrow at the top left to go back to the home screen, you'll also see account protection. This is for when you're logging into Microsoft. You'll see your Microsoft sign in. And if you certainly have Microsoft programs like Office 365, you may want to sign in so you can get to all of your cloud-based storage and your cloud-based services. You have firewall, which is the next big one. You want to click that and make sure that each of these are turned on. Firewall is turned on. And if I click on domain network, just so you can see what's there, that's where I can turn the firewall off and on. Now, some programs that you load will turn your firewall off, and then they'll forget or won't be capable of turning the firewall back on. So if I go back to that previous screen, so if this says your firewall is not on, just click on it and then enable it. Same thing is true for private networks. The firewall should be protecting you. And then public network means if you use a Wi-Fi network when you're at the airport, that firewall will be protecting you from viruses and other harmful attacks there too. I'm not going to go through the apps and browser controls. Those are pretty standard and you don't want to change any of those. Device security is the same. Device performance, I'm going to click on that just to show you what's there. As you can see, it's currently scanning my hard drive for issues. There's no issues there. It also scans the battery life for issues. And any apps or software that have issues, it'll report those so you know exactly what to do with them. And then lastly, you have some family options, but I'm not going to talk to those. If you do have a family that share the same computer, you certainly can go in and make a variety of settings in order to protect your children while they're online. You can set time in terms of how much screen time they can get, that sort of thing. So since this is a security video, I'm not going to go through all of those. So that's pretty much it in terms of the antivirus and PC security settings. So that's it for the demo. And hopefully I went slow enough that you understood what I was clicking on. And if you didn't, just simply go back and watch that portion of the demo again so that you can go and change your settings if necessary. Now, here's how you can get your specific question or issue resolved or answered. In the comment section below, give us one question or one issue that you want us to do a video on. Now, if others have the same question, it'll hit the top 10 and then we'll do a video on it. So we're at the end of this video and I really appreciate you hanging in there. I know it was a lot of information and a lot of stuff. I know we went through a lot of demos and hopefully you got some value out of this video. Now, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and the notification bell because we're going to put out a lot of videos with specific answers to questions or fixes for issues, and you don't want to miss any of those. And remember, at Just About Senior, we solve problems and we answer questions that seniors have to make life better. And we know you're going to share all of this with your friends and your family. You can also visit us at justaboutseniors.com to read our blog and get some really helpful hot tips. And remember, if you have questions, we have answers.